Hi folks, welcome back to the Horde. Well, right now it's a beautiful day, a little windy, but we got some storms blowing in, thunder, lightning, rain, and then tomorrow it's supposed to get cold again. No snow or anything, but cold. And as you guys could see, it's like the snow is gone. I mean, just that's about all that's left. Anyway, folks, just a quick video. Oh yeah, I did. You guys want to hear about the deal? And then we'll talk about some other stuff. Or I'm talking on this video, so anybody who gets bored with that, feel free to go watch another video of mine, hopefully, or somebody else's videos. You don't have to watch this if you don't want to. The thing you see in the back, the quad you see in the back of my truck, is one of my favorite quads, and we'll go look at that, and that'll be a whole different discussion shortly. It was one of those. God, was it Let It Go or Offer Up? There's been like nothing on Craigslist, so looks like Offer Up. Hi, I'm the guy from Offer Up that you've been messaging me about the quad. Been expecting your message, just needed time and address, and I'm on my way. Ashley Falls, Massachusetts, right? I was talking to him at night. This is the discussion from the morning. Did so last night, about 90 minutes for me to get to you. Oh well, you could head my way if you want. Whereabouts are you coming from? Route 44, most of the way. Will not be making any time on that. And I told him that the nearest local city to me is Poughkeepsie. And he says, start heading my way. And then I told him, okay, expect a text at about 10:45 in the morning. And he says, okay, when you get to the town of Canaan, Connecticut, I'll give you my address. So a little flaky. I gave him an okay. And then I typed that in there just to tap him back. And then I tell him that I'm in Canaan, and he gave me his address. So I was a little, it was a little flaky, not too scary. Anyway, he put that up on OfferUp. It is, I'm not sure about the year. It's my favorite quad, which is why I went out and bought it. I have a few of them floating around. It's a Honda TRX 200SX. So it's got recoil start, automatic 5-speed, automatic clutch, 5-speed transmission. It's got 4 wheels. It's really a quad. It's got reverse. So I got the recoil I like. I got reverse that I like. It's a light bike. I can, pick up the front or back of it with, one arm and just lift it and all that. The story on it. So I had about 90 minutes to drive. I had to, I go through Shannon, Connecticut, Lakeville, New Canaan. He lives in an interesting area. I wish I had brought my camera. There was an abandoned house across the street from him. I would have liked to go explore that and put it on the camera, but unfortunately I'm not. He was a cool guy, great big guy, probably 6'2", 6'4", major 275, 300 pounds. And when I drove up, I looked at him and I said, you're a little big for that quad. He says, yeah, that's why I'm getting rid of it. He is the third owner. The guy who owned it before him got it from a buddy. That thing spent most of its life living in a greenhouse, believe it or not. So it was under shelter, but the sun and the heat in the greenhouse, a plastic greenhouse, kind of like one of those tunnel things, but with clear, so the sun gets to go in and beat the hell out of everything in there. So that's where it spent most of its life. It starts, it runs, it moves, no battery. It does have the key, and once again, I'll show it to you. A couple of other stories. On the way home with it, I loaded it on the truck, and if anybody's familiar with Route 44, particularly as you leave Sharon and you're heading in the direction of Poughkeepsie, there's this long hill climb with a couple of S-turns on it, and on the way down you overlook a golf course. I don't know if it's one of Trump's golf courses or not, but you overlook a golf course, but it's a pretty tough uphill, pretty steep. So I had it on the back of the truck, and I'm climbing the hill, and I hit the bottom of the hill at a good speed, and I was still on the pedal pretty hard, climbing the hell out of that hill. And as I got toward the top of the hill, the back of the truck broke loose, just as somebody was passing me on the way up the hill. And I think they broke loose also. There must have been something on the road, because I heard a squealing sound and then felt the truck starting to dance around, and the truck's got traction control, which means as soon as it broke loose, the next thing it felt like the truck stalled, right? I mean, suddenly the truck lets go of the gas for you. It doesn't matter where you put the gas, the truck lets go of the gas. So the truck kind of settled down, and then the engine revved back up again because my foot was on the gas, and she kind of went a little squirrely again. The guy in front of me was running a front wheel drive. I think it was a Honda that he was passing me with. I don't know if he had traction control or not, because I heard squealing. I don't know if it was him or me. I managed to miss him, and he managed to miss me, which was a good thing. So I got all the way to just about home, and I stopped at a supermarket on the way. It's known as Tops. So I went in and went shopping, and I came out, and there was a trooper sitting alongside my vehicle. They parked right alongside of me. I parked in such a way that I had the thing backed up against kind of a grassy knoll with a rock wall behind it, so one couldn't easily steal the quad out of the back of it. Well, they backed in, and they were alongside of me, and it was a lady police officer, a lady trooper. And when I walked up to the truck and unlocked it, she got out of the car, and she walked up to me, and she said, "Is this your quad?" And I said, "It's my truck, and it's my quad." And she asked, "Where'd you get it?" And I said, "I just purchased it." And she said, "I have a report of a stolen Honda quad." And I looked at her and I smiled and I said, "Oh, you do?" And she goes, "Yes." And I said, "Does the quad run that was stolen?" And she said, "Yes." And I said, "Do you have the VIN number?" And she goes, "No, the person who had the quad stolen does not have the VIN number." I said, "Well, that's not helpful." And then I said, "I'll tell you what. Here's the key. You could start it up and ride it around the parking lot." And she looked at me, and she looked at the key, and she took the key, and she put it in the ignition, and she turned the key, and when the thing unlocked, she turned the key back again, took it out and handed me the key and said, "Thank you." And I said, thanks, like questioning, and she said, "The person who had the quad stolen did not have the key in the ignition." And I said, "Oh, I'm glad you knew that fact, because that lets me loose." And she goes, "Yes, it does." She goes, "Have a good day, sir." And I was pleased because she wasn't sitting there in the parking lot with her lights a-flashing and all that other kind of stuff. So, the quad itself, and we'll look at it in some detail. The plastic's a bit battered, but the engine looks like it's in decent shape. I think it still has the OEM tires on it. Just to show you up close and personal. I think it's low mileage. I've told you guys a dozen times that, this is my favorite quad, the Honda TRX 200 SX, because it's light, it's fast, it's a pleasure to drive. I have a few of these floating around. Here's one here. This is the one I got from Luke with the side of the engine is kind of trashed. That one is one I got from a car show. That one actually is in pretty decent mechanical shape. And then there's the one in the tunnel over there that came from Rome, New York. Guy, that was an eBay deal, and guy drove down, and I met him in Oneonta. My son was going to college at the time, so I was able to, knew right where to meet the guy, and met him up there in Oneonta. Spent a little time with my son too. So that's about it. I hope you guys like these Let It Go stories. Once he was asking $650 for it, and it says make offer, so I offered him $500, and I went to see him, and I looked at it, and after I said, well, the offer up was $500, are you solid on that? He goes, I have $500 into it, so I can't let it go for any less than that. I said, that's cool, because it was well worth it. If anybody's familiar with buying engines, a decent Honda TRX 250 engine with the recoil on it and the electric starter on it, just the engine alone, you're lucky if you could get it to your house for under $400. Typically, you're lucky to pay like $325 for the engine, and then another $75 to have it shipped. So the engine's almost a $400 bill all by itself. All 4 tires hold air, though they're nothing great. So I mean, what's that worth? Another $50. It has the ignition with the key switch and all that. What is that worth? The plastic is there. The front is, I'd probably give the plastic a C- or a D+. Yeah, I don't think I'd give it too much more than that. Once again, I'll show it to you tomorrow. Folks, I want to thank you all for coming to watch my videos and listen to me talk, and kind of come along with these deals with me, the Let Go deals. Folks, I want you all to keep your feet down, keep your heads up. I want you all to go out and have a great day. Remember to have a lot of fun, and we'll catch you on the next video. Bye now, folks.